What's good, everybody? We got another one, man. It's a dark, gloomy day, and the media is not holding back. So I got a couple of clips here, and we're gonna react to of how the national media is reacting to the Tennessee Titans firing general manager Rand Carthon. And from what everybody's saying, even the media is letting us have it. It doesn't seem like nobody is holding back, but we're gonna get into it. So this is NFL Live first, so let's go ahead and dive into it.
Let's go to Tennessee next, where after finishing with the worst record in the NFL, the team made a move in the front office, firing GM Rand Carthon. As Adam Schefter pointed out, Carthon spent 2 years in Tennessee with 2 different head coaches, still has 4 years remaining on his contract. A new Titans GM will make the #1 overall.
Let's clarify that real quick. A new Titans GM will not be making the #1 overall pick. Brinker will be making the #1 overall pick. Let's get that clarified. Okay, back to it.
Pick. Worth remembering that as well. So, Roz, what more can you tell us about this decision?
So the power in the organization will lie with a man named Chad Brinker, who is the president of football operations. He's been there 2 years, 13 years before that with the Green Bay Packers. And Brinker, in a statement to the team's website today, talked about what they're looking for in the next GM. He said they want somebody with a scouting background, somebody with extensive experience scouting college players for the pros, setting a draft board. So you can see what the issue is here in Tennessee. They believe the new GM's job will be to evaluate talent and put a roster together that way. But Brinker will have the final say.
Hold on, excuse me, teacher. Call on me. I got a question. Wasn't that Rand Carthon? Ain't that everything they just described what they want from a GM? Ain't that Rand? Wasn't that Rand? Didn't he evaluate talent and put together a roster? Did that man not give us one of the most talented rosters we have ever had? If not ever, but in a long time. And the coach fucked it up. I don't I don't get that statement. Every time as I'm reading this, I'm just like, so you're looking for the GM you just fired? I don't it's just the same way that now you're looking for the structure that you just fired your last coach for, wanting to have. Now we're wanting that structure, but you're firing this GM, and it sounds like the GM you're looking to replace this GM is the GM you just fired. I'd
say over the roster, regardless of who they bring in as general manager.
Interesting. You know, I mean, thinking about Tennessee, I feel like when we talk about whether these jobs, coaches, GMs, are attractive, we need to focus more on the stability of ownership, because just looking at everything that's happened there over the last few years.
Look at his face. Do you see how preach? Yes, please. Finally, somebody saying it. Bro, look at his face. That's finally somebody saying something. I wasn't going to say it and risk my job, but finally. See what you got to say.
Last few years, the word that comes to mind is erratic. I mean, going back to 2022, they get embarrassed by A.J. Brown on TV, so they fire Amy Adams-Strunk, the owner, fires John Robinson. You think Mike Vrabel's got more power, but then they pair him with Carthon, and then they fire Mike Vrabel. And then you think, okay, well, now Rand Carthon's got the juice, and this is a rebuild, and they must know that it's a rebuild, right? Well, no, because they didn't get enough wins to her liking, so she fired Rand Carthon. And that's not to say that I agreed with all of his signings and draft picks necessarily, but it seems to me that ownership in Tennessee, one, has a misapprehension of who their roster is, the fact that they're rebuilding, and a deep lack of patience. I mean, she's just pressing the red button over and over and over. And if I'm on the outside looking at this and looking at that job, Dan, I would go with a lot of hesitation, because the ownership is what remains.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because you brought up when they fired Vrabel. And remember at the time they were saying there were philosophical differences between Carthon and Vrabel and what they wanted to do, what he wanted to do. I guess the question is, like, what is the philosophy?
Exactly. What is the long?
Nobody knows. Nobody, not even the fans. Nobody. I don't think Amy knows. Because last year during the hiring, then we talk about what's the vision for the coach. We'll tell you once we find a coach. And for me, that just sounded like we don't know. We waiting on a coach to come in here and sell us on an identity and sell us on what the Tennessee Titans should be. And we're just going to, like a leech, latch onto that and say, that's what we want to be. I don't think they even got a fucking clue of what they want to be. It's incompetent here. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Term vision for this franchise, because it's apparent that this is an owner who seems motivated by short-termism.
Go ahead, Graz.
Yeah, Mina's right that it seemed like it should have been a rebuild, but the Titans actually spent a pretty fair amount of money in free agency last year. Remember, I mean, they traded for L'Jarius Sneed, gave him a contract. They signed Calvin Ridley. So they were expecting to be competitive, and they very much were not. And, you know, I think a big factor here is Will Levis, who was drafted high in the second round 2 years ago with the hope that he could be a franchise quarterback, has not panned out. And it feels like Rand Carthon has borne the brunt of that and some of these other decisions. The Titans had higher hopes for this year than, we'll have the #1 pick.
I still, even with those off-season signings and all that money spent in free agency, you couldn't expect all these guys getting hurt. You couldn't expect Sneed getting hurt, and then Cushenberry getting hurt, Awuzie getting hurt and not really playing. I mean, we was all on for the deals, and I still don't think, like, Tony Pollard's a 1,000-yard rusher, and Calvin Ridley somehow got 1,000 receiving yards in this horrible QB play. I'm not with that. It still was a rebuild, and the ownership in the front office was not honest with themselves about that, and they tried to sell the fan base hopes and dreams, and they did. They sold us hopes and dreams, and we gave them the benefit of the doubt, and we latched onto it, and we bought into it and gave them good faith, and they spit in our fucking faces. Even asked for us to pay for PSLs for the new stadium at high ass prices. This is what they're doing to us. All right, so this next one is Rich Eisen's reaction to the Tennessee Titans firing Rand Carthon.
Many things occur in the NFL, certainly in my lifetime, that makes you say, what the hell's that team doing? Trust me, as a man born a Jet fan and 50 some odd years of following the team, I'm well versed in what the hell are they doing. The Tennessee Titans have entered that realm, to be very honest with you. I like Brian Callahan, their head coach. I think he is of good stuff. The fact that he's got his dad, Bill.
We'll see about that.
Part of the staff and that offensive line and the run game. I mean, that's what you need. That's what you want. And they have some players there. They don't have a quarterback.
All right, mind you, we had some players there. Mind you, we got 23 of our 53-man roster need new contracts now as well. And they just saw you fire the GM. I don't know if y'all saw this, but Jeffrey Simmons unfollowed the Tennessee Titans. Jarvis Brownlee is not happy and made his comments known on Twitter as well. And I'm pretty sure there's other, legends and Titans legends have voiced their opinions on this as well. So you got 23 of your 53-man roster you got to bring back or replace now. Good luck. Because even the leader, Jeffrey Simmons, is pissed off. And I've advocated for him to trade. So I'm upset by this because, not because he wants to leave, well, kind of. It shifts the trade value. When you got a good player that's here and you're trading him away, you got higher trade value. When you got a disgruntled player that's pissed off at the franchise ready to leave, trade value has just dropped a lot. So I was saying trade Jeff because he had the highest trade value on the team. And now if he's disgruntled and he's wanting out and going to demand a trade, he's no longer the highest trade value on this team. Because that puts us at a disadvantage at trade negotiations because they know he wants out and he has to come out. We're not at the advantage in that trade negotiation anymore whatsoever for Jeffrey Simmons.
Situated significantly yet. We'll see if they stick with Will Levis or not, but they earned in many ways that first overall selection this year. But they never really struck me as quitting. And again, Brian Callahan is hired after they fire Mike Vrabel, who gets fired after they hired a new general manager in Rand Carthon, who was hired after they fired the general manager in the middle of the season, John Robinson, after A.J. Brown torched the team as a member of the Eagles. And we all know they let A.J. Brown out the door by trading him to the Eagles on a draft day in Las Vegas after they didn't want to pay him. After we had Mike Vrabel on the show saying, when I asked him, is this really possible that A.J. Brown could get traded? Nope. He basically said, not as long as I'm a head coach here. And again, they trade him. Anyway, Mike Vrabel doesn't appear to be happy about it, but he's still the head coach there. The general manager who does trade him gets fired. Then Mike Vrabel sticks around after the new general manager is hired and Rand Carthon. Then Vrabel gets fired, and today Rand Carthon got fired.
See how big of a clusterfuck that is of shit that don't make no sense, and how 3 years in a row now we have sat here and fired either a coach or a GM, and 4 years in a row now somebody new will be putting our 53-man roster together. 4 years in a row, somebody new has the final say over our 53-man roster. Miss Amy ain't got a good record right now.
And if you see, I kind of went from the present day backwards, and then from that day to the present day, rewind and then fast forward to just sort of make the point that doesn't it appear to be a little bit off kilter that they normally, when you make the change, you change out the general manager and the coach, or just the coach, not the general manager.
Yes.
Not the general manager, then the coach, then the general manager that changed out the coach. But they're keeping the coach that the general manager they just let go helped be part of hiring, and now they're going to bring in a new GM and say, you get to choose the first overall pick in the draft for.
Welcome to being a Titans fan. I know you're a Jets fan, Rich Eisen, so you understand and sympathize some. But welcome to being a Tennessee Titans fan. This is the shit we're trying to wrap our head around right now as well.
For the coach that we're keeping. Huh?
Thank you. Huh?
It kind of makes no sense.
Like Kendrick Lamar said, huh? What? Huh? What they talking about? Them Titans ain't talking about nothing.
Sense. What if they had just paid A.J. Brown?
I
don't know, because Tannehill got older fast. He wasn't the guy, and if you don't get the quarterback right, it doesn't matter who the GM is or the coach is, you're going to get fired. But at the time, they had a team, and they don't pay A.J. Brown. He goes to Philadelphia, and he's basically like their wide receiver version of Saquon. But the guy who traded Saquon, or let Saquon walk, stays. The Giants keep them.
Look, Rich, you ain't got to keep dumping the salt in this wound, bro. Like, please, hey, man. Nah, you know what? I'm my fault. Fuck it. Let him have it, because Amy has to hear this shit. Amy has to see this shit. Like, we're a casualty and an innocent bystander by this, but damn it, you have to do this. We have to go through this. She has to be held accountable for this stuff. She has to be. Oh, this is about to hurt.
The coach and the general manager together there, because they don't want to churn through it. And now the Titans have churned through 2 general managers and a coach in a span of 2+ years, but they're going to keep this coach and attach him to the hip of, we assume, Cam Ward. Is that who it's going to be? Shedeur Sanders? All I know is Deion Sanders reacted.
Yeah.
He just said, wow, with the googly eyes. And you could say, well, why is Deion chiming in? Because he's the dad of the guy who the Titans might be drafting. And if he's sitting there thinking they don't know what the hell they're doing, that might add a wrinkle to this whole thing.
Guess who?
Yeah, I don't see Shedeur coming here. And we've heard things, and a lot can change. This is way early, but Titans seem to be more sold on Cam Ward than they do on Shedeur Sanders right now. But I don't think Shedeur and Deion would want him to come here. I think it might be an Eli. I know people said that before, and we was like, that's not the case. But everything Miss Amy done today and firing Rand, she helped solidify all those things people was talking about. Dion's not gonna let his son come here. Well, not now. Probably most likely not now after this shit. This just speaks dysfunctional. And what parent, father or mother, what parent would want their child going into that situation of dysfunctional and knowing that you're not setting my child up to succeed in the NFL? What parent wants that? Miss Amy made sure that Shedeur Sanders wouldn't come here and Dion wouldn't want him coming here by her actions of firing Rand Carthon.
Who ain't going to Nashville?
I don't know, man. So I don't know what the Titans are doing.
Nobody
They choose
does.
the right quarterback.
Then who cares?
First overall. Then everything I just said.
No,
is
it's
a
not that
footnote.
simple here. Not that simple
That's
here.
the way
for
it
us.
works in the NFL.
It's not that simple here, and I preach to you all the other fans too. Do not get fooled and trickered for this bullshit once again. I don't care if they do go get a QB, whether Cam or Shedeur. That don't change a damn thing about how dysfunctional this team has been and how shitty they have been treating this fan base and acting like we don't know shit and constantly lying to our face and acting like we don't know what's going on and we can't see their incompetent behavior. Don't let one draft pick excuse all their bullshit and everything they have put us fans through. One draft pick is not going to fix this shit. I don't give a damn who you draft. We have to sit here and stand still or stand firm and hold this team and hold Miss Haney accountable. Fuck the bullshit. One draft pick ain't going to fix this. One good season ain't going to fix this. One good hire ain't going to fucking fix this. This is going to take time. Strap your boots on, Miss Amy. You got some proving to do. You got a lot of fucking work to do. And you're going to have to earn it the fucking hard way now. Because you came out and you tried to sell us a shit pie. And we ate that shit up. Now we're going to see what the fuck's going to happen. So, tighten them boots up. You got a lot of fucking work ahead of you for this Titans franchise organization. Not to mention how you already treated the PSL holders this year after a shit season. We all had to experience that in that shit show. You resend season ticket holders a re-gift from 2013. Re-gift it. Or 2023. You re-gifted your 2023 gift to your PSL owners. Great job. What a fucking great franchise, and how much you truly appreciate your fans for sticking through with one of your worst seasons ever.
Everything I just said is a complete footnote. Mm-hmm. And then you know what we'll say? Boy, the Titans know what they're doing.
Nope.
They got the right coach. They got the right quarterback. Look at them now.
Nope.
But right now, it's just like you let the general manager.
This shit wasn't making sense before today. Today is not the day that all this shit just magically started to not make sense. This shit has not been making sense for a long time. And some of us have tried to hold still and defend Amy and defend this team. No more. No more. We're fucking done. We are done. Come out and answer and speak for yourself.
Manager trade away the wide receiver, and then you consider that a fireable offense when that wide receiver torches everybody, including you. The head coach didn't want the wide receiver gone.
Nope.
But now the head coach is gone after you hired the new general manager.
Yep.
And that coach is now maybe the hottest coaching candidate out there in Mike Vrabel.
Yep.
And the GM that made these moves, you fire him.
Yep.
And now the new head coach stays.
Yep.
Okay.
None of it makes sense.
That's unorthodox, shall we say.
You're being
Catch the
nice.
Rich Eisen Show every single day.
You're being nice. You're being beyond nice, Rich. And you don't have to do that to this organization. Somebody has to let this front office and this ownership and everyone who's actually ahead of this shit that's been stuck here all these years making this shit happen. Y'all need to hear this shit. Because you won't listen to the fans. Because when we say this shit, y'all know what y'all talking about. Y'all don't know football. Fans ain't got no right. The fuck if we don't. And we're sick of it. We are fucking sick of it. You wanted some disgruntled ass fans? Well, fuck it, you got it. You fucking got it. Not even gonna say it. Make sure like the video, comment below how you're feeling, how you're let down from this team, what you think about the national media. Just comment below. Let's all vent out together about this fuckery and clown show of a dysfunctional team that we chose to fucking support and love. See y'all in the next one. Peace out.